Hi everyone, it's Monday evening here and it's getting late. It's about 8 o'clock, 8:15, and I have a pussycat just outside the door mewing at me. Okay pussy, I'll get you something in a minute. Give me time. Today I want to talk to you about worry. There is nobody who doesn't worry. I firmly believe that everybody in the whole world worries, just that some are much better at hiding it than others. They can mask it, or they can put on a little act, or they can act differently. But at the end of the day, we all worry. And worry is so bad for us. It's bad for our bodies, it's bad for your blood pressure, it makes it rise, it's bad for your heart, it makes it race. It's bad for your lungs because when you're worried you take very shallow breaths and you don't take a deep breath, so you're not getting enough oxygen into your lungs, you're not getting oxygen into your brain and your bloodstream, so you feel tired. It makes you more lethargic and lacking in energy. So worry, can we avoid it? Not necessarily. I think whatever our makeup or whoever we are, we're always going to find that we are beings that worry because we are rational thinking beings. We are going to think bad thoughts as well as good thoughts. We are going to worry about the past and the future. And no matter what you say to people or what you advise them, they are always going to worry. And I think it's something that instead of trying to cure, we have to learn to live with. So how do we live with worrying? We know the bad things that it can cause to the body. I've just discussed those. But how do you cope? How do you get up every day when you can't stop worrying? Now, I have a great friend here on YouTube, another Irish vlogger, Melanie Murphy. I will put her URL down below. Check her out. She's a great young female beauty guru, and she has 215,000 if not more subscribers at the moment. She has come from nowhere to this through her honesty and her lovely attitude towards life, towards vlogging, towards beauty, towards her skin. She is a breath of fresh air. But anyway, she also tells us in many of her vlogs that she suffers with anxiety disorder. And sure, really, in my opinion, anxiety disorder is also another form of worrying. Now, I am not a medical person and I'm not playing down anxiety disorder in any way, but they are all connected to a lesser or a major extent. We all suffer from anxiety, from worry and from different things, but Melanie has discovered over the years that there are things that you can actually do to help yourself to get out of the trap of worrying. You may be never able to cure yourself from worrying. You may always be a worrier, but there are some things you can do to jolt your brain. One of the things she does is she has a little bottle of lavender essence, essential oils, and she dabs it around her in places where she is when she's in great form and great humour and in a happy place and at one with the world, and it makes a beautiful scent and it goes into her brain. And then when she feels down, she also dabs the same scent around her, and it kind of jolts the brain into thinking, hang on a minute, last time we smelled this, things weren't so bad. And it kind of can trick the sense of smell can actually trick your brain into worrying less and getting out of the worry and at least putting it aside for a minute. I've noticed that on days when I'm not in the best of form, I don't wear perfume. And I've kind of said to myself this morning when I was getting up, I was a bit tired, a little bit groggy. I said, will I put on perfume? No, I don't think so. And then I've been thinking about it during the day. When I wear perfume that I love the scent of, it puts me in good form. I love the smell, and I will often raise my wrist to my nose just to smell it, and it makes me feel good. So of course, when you're at a low ebb or when you're on a low par, that is the real time when you should be donning the perfume and donning the lovely smells. So I'm going to try that from now on. Why not wear your favourite perfume every day? Why not smell good? Why not get that lovely feeling into your brain that you are worth it, you deserve it? So that's one of my tricks. Another of my own little tricks for when I suffer anxiety or worry, because I mean, like I said, we are all going to worry. Some of us will hide it better than others, and I'm afraid I'm one of the hiders. When I worry, I don't tell anybody about it, but people that know me well know when I'm worried, because I get very quiet. Don't want to talk to anyone, don't really want to communicate, want to kind of lock myself away in my little worry room, thinking about what I need, what I don't need to think about, and trying to sort it in my head. And I'm not being selfish, the fact that I'm not sharing, it's just that I don't want others to worry about what I'm worried about. And sometimes I also feel that I need to think it out in my head first before sharing it. I kind of need to get a handle on it or get it straight in my mind before I can share it with others. And what I have learned to do, I suppose after a while of worrying, when I've given it enough time and when I'm tired and my brain is tired, I get that little worry in my head and I said, right, I'm going to lock you away in this little cabin at the back of my brain, in a safe place. Just turn the key in the door and leave you there for a little while, because I can't do any more. I've given you a lot of time. I've thought about it a lot. I can't actually solve the problem. Only time maybe will do that. So for the moment, I'm going to leave you there and leave the rest of my brain free for all the living it has to do and all the other things that are going on, so that I won't be constantly exhausted with what your little worry is all about. So maybe every day, or once, maybe twice, at different times during the day, I will pay a little visit to that room. I just go down and open the door and check on the worry and say, well, are you still there? Are you feeling any better? Are things getting sorted yet? No, not really. Okay, look, stay in there for another little while and see how things are. I'll come back and visit you another time, but I'm not going to stay with you. I'm not going to participate in your worry. I'm not going to wallow in it. I have other things to do and I'm moving on with them. So turn the key again and lock it away. This is maybe a kind of a visualization trick, but it does work, and I find it helps me, because I cannot say that I don't have the worry anymore. Of course I have the worry, but it's safe. It's somewhere where I can check on it when I need to. It doesn't have to be at the front of my head and dominating my day all the time. I can always go back there, give a look at it and see is it any better. And believe me, one day I'm going to go back there and unlock that door, and when I open it, the room is going to be empty. And then I will know that it has sorted itself out, because I mean, that worry is not my responsibility alone. It has its own job to do to get itself sorted. So why should I be the one that feels in charge and having to solve the problem and sort it out? No, I can just leave it sit there, because sometimes by just leaving it sit there alone actually solves the problem. Now, there are people who worry and who worry themselves to death. You've often heard this saying, and it is a true saying, because in a way worry can create illness and sickness in the body, as I mentioned previously. But also there are people who have become expert at worrying and can do it so well that they can worry continuously, non-stop. We all know them, and these are the people that even when they have no worries, they worry about the fact that they have no worries to worry about, and then they worry about the fact that they're worrying about the fact that they have no worries to worry about, and they will always find a little worry to keep them busy. Now, it's not that these people are happier when they have something to worry about. I think it's habit forming. It's the way they have been all their lives, so they don't actually know any other way of living their lives. And you can point out to them that it's not good for you, it's not healthy, you've lots to be grateful for, you have such a nice home and family, you're a very, very lucky person, you're healthy. But to some people, that's not what they want to hear. Some people sort of have to create problems, even when problems don't exist. And for people like this, it's very hard to reason with. It's very hard to break through the worry barrier, because when you pass a comment on something, they'll come back with some other reason why it is so important to worry about it. And sometimes you're just better off to just agree and give in and say, okay, maybe tomorrow will be better. Oh, no, tomorrow's going to be much worse. But there's not a lot you can do. You can try and lift their spirits. You can point out to them all the good things they have in their lives. Very often, a compliment helps shake them out of whatever it is they're wrapped up in. And I know another thing that actually works too is when you meet a worrier that's so wrapped up in themselves and so worry focused on themselves, sometimes if you tell them about somebody else or tell them a little story about somebody else, it takes the focus off themselves for a while, and it sort of lifts them a little bit, because they can see that, oh gosh, there are other people that worry as well. Now the funny thing about these worriers, the ones that worry continuously, it doesn't seem to damage their health, because their bodies have become accustomed to it. It's a bit like a drug. The worry is actually a drug that maybe keeps them alive. Can you believe that? But these people worry so much about illness and sickness. Maybe they're always running to the doctor with every sniffle and complaint. So therefore they're always picked up when little things do go wrong, and they're very well cared for by the medical profession. So in an unusual way, people like this that worry to this extent can live long, healthy lives, but not necessarily happy lives. So if you want to be a happy person and get healthy that way, put those little worries in those little cabins. There's loads of them at the back of your brain. The doors are open, the keys are in the lock. All you have to do is pick a room and say, right, you're going into this one here, and I'm going to put you in there, because I need my night's sleep now, and I'm going to bed, and I'm going to lie down, and I'm going to have an empty mind, because all of you are going to be tucked up in your beds. And I will visit you tomorrow. You'll all be tucked up well in your beds, and I'll come back and I'll see how you're doing, and if we need to do anything else, maybe tomorrow we may need to do nothing either, only just check on you. So you'll be safe, you'll be fine, and meanwhile I'm going to have an empty, peaceful mind so that I can drift off to sleep and relax and enjoy all the good things I have in my life, because my life is blessed, my life is filled with love and happiness and good things. And don't forget, we all have worries. It's just that some can deal with them better. Some are able to cope. Now, if you're one of the people that do suffer with anxiety and other mental health issues, be sure and go to the doctor and get help, get medication. And if you find after 6 to 8 weeks that that medication is not agreeing with you, that you don't like the side effects, that you're tired or that you're more lethargic, that you can't think straight, go back to the doctor again and try a different kind, because the same medication doesn't suit everybody. Everybody's bodies have different chemicals. So keep trying until you find the one that suits you right. And if that's what you need, if that's the drug that you need to keep your mind empty and free and to keep your body healthy, take it. Take it as long as you need it, because we all have a drug of choice. Some of us love coffee, some of us love alcohol, some of us can't relax unless we have a cigarette. Some of us love that lovely cream bun in the fridge. Some of us love all of those things, but they are all drugs of choice.